welcome to the podcast pre-show. You're joining us live. We are so happy to have you here. The podcast pre-show, of course, is where we get things rip, raring to go. This is a fly-on-the-wall experience. We sometimes are able to read your comments, but honestly, the best thing that you can be doing if you're watching this is to hit that share button, share in a text, share in a Facebook message, Instagram message, direct message, however you message, share on your wall, share in your stories. Have friends of yours who watch House of the Dragon, who want to talk with you about it anyway, come on and join this live podcast. The more people, the merrier, and the more conversation that you have, the better. So keep going with those thumbs and fingers, typing up your feelings, your GBGs, your flames ratings, all those kind of things. Your conversation is a whole different part of this experience. So we are so excited to be podcasting about episode 3 of season 2. Blake, anything else you want to say?
Oh, I'm ready for this episode. Let's get weird. Let's do all the things. Oh, some great craft stuff in this episode. I'm excited.
Awesome sauce.
I'm excited. All right, you ready to get her done?
I sure am.
All right, let's go. 10 seconds for
Room tone.
You must go before you are discovered. There's been a mistake. There's been no mistake. Please. You can prevent this, Alicent. A terrible war is looming. And even victory may be so bloody as to be counted a loss.
Do not let your pride blind you.
There's been no mistake. My father has gone from court. God is on the march, Aemond. You know what Aemond is? It's too late, Rhaenyra. Alicent.
Live in the Minute with Mary studio, all the way from Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome to the House of the Dragon with Mary and Blake. It's a podcast dedicated to the House of the Dragon on HBO. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about fire and blood. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Mary Larson.
My name is Blake, and boy, do I love myself a little Easter egg. No, wait, sorry. Let's strike that. Reverse.
Okay.
Big Easter egg.
Yeah.
Huge.
Do tell, Blake.
Huge.
Is your Easter egg the one that I'm thinking?
I imagine that we're on the same page. I don't know.
Do tell.
But we get a chance to see the future here a little bit in this episode. Those eggs, that's Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal.
Yes.
And
there's 4 eggs, I think, in it.
Right.
Yeah.
But 3 of them.
Yes.
And that has been
Daenerys'
confirmed.
babies.
That has been confirmed by the director.
Nice.
So those are Daenerys' babies.
I love it. We also had the Wearswood tree. We also had the
Yes.
dagger show back up.
Yes. So
So-
a lot of good things.
A lot of good things in this episode. But yes,
I'm
those
in,
wee little baby dragon eggs. We see them 200 years earlier.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting.
And the fact that she says, "Oh, you're going to go to Pentos," and that's where, eventually Daenerys was gifted those eggs. So obviously they make their way to Pentos. Does it go through Baela? I don't know, but I imagine
find
that
out.
somehow they get there. Clearly. So I don't know. I just love seeing these little things. And that's what makes stuff like this great. It's not big in your face like Star Wars prequel disease, where it's like, oh, we must get Yoda to Dagobah. Like, how are we going to do that? Like, no. It's just like, oh, you have these things, and you're going to go to Pentos, and you have to put it together.
Yes.
I think that's so cool, man. I love that kind of storytelling.
I agree, Blake. I agree. This episode was fun. We're, of course, delving into it with our friends. But before we do, we want to let you know that Blake and I talk about these episodes all week long, not just on the podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Search the words Mary and Blake. We will pop on up. You can also go to maryandblake.com to check out all of the other podcasts and episodes that we cover. We cover lots of different types of shows. And we want to thank our friends at jointhenerdclan.com. That's our Patreon group. for our friends who support this show. We are ever so grateful for you. Thank you ever so much, friends, for doing that. It really means so much to us. It allows us to continue to create this podcast and all of the podcasts that we do for our friends listening worldwide. So for as little as $2 a month, it's less than a cup of coffee, you can become a member at jointhenerdclan.com and support us. We're a mom and pop podcast shop. We don't have like major conglomerate sponsors or anything like that. So every single one of you patrons at Join the Nerd Clan really do matter to us.
All right, Marvin, you ready to get into the episode details?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. All right. Mini plot recap.
The
What do you
mini
got?
plot recap. This episode starts off where we have the Brackens and the something else that begins with B, and they fight, and there's this big windmill, and you're like, oh no, and then you're like, oh god, no. And so a lot of people are crabby.
The Blackwoods, by the way.
Blackwoods, thank
gotcha.
you. Brackens and Blackwoods. A lot of people are crabby. Daemon goes to wet Harrenhal and has some weird dreams, and Rhaenyra has her little meeting with Alicent in the Sept.
Yes. Okay. So for the title, this was called The Burning Mill, which is named after the battle that happened between the Brackens and the Blackwoods. It's called the Battle of the Burning Mill. The director was Geeta Vasant Patel. She has directed one of the better episodes of House of the Dragon in years last season, episode 108, The Lord of the Tides. And the writer was David Hancock, who wrote Mary. Again, we're going to reference The Crown one more time after 3 references last episode. He wrote the episode 308, The Dangling Man of The Crown, and this is his first episode writing for House of the Dragon. He has served on many different shows, but in non-writing capacities, more like staff or assistants or that kind of deal. So that is that. All right, your flames. How many flames are you giving this episode?
I am giving this episode a 4.9.
Ooh, that's a big one.
4.9, that is a very big one for me, especially here we are, 3 episodes in, and holy smokes, I mean, if I start this season that high, it can only go up. It can only go up, and I've got a feeling it's going to keep going up. That's what she said. Hey, stop. Anyway, yes, 4.9 flames. Friends joining us live, let us know what your flame scale is. Blake, what do you give this episode?
All right, I'm giving this one a 4.72. I really liked this episode. I think that I'm giving it a 4.72 because of one thing in particular.
Okay.
If this one thing did not happen, it would probably be in the same range as the previous episodes, which was 4.6. But something happened, and I'm all in. All in.
Okay.
Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to see why I'm all in. But we're just going to go from there. All right, You're GBG, Marvin. You're good. You're bad. And you're great.
Okay, my good for this episode was Daemon's weird stuff. We're going to delve into it because a lot of weird things happen, but all the weird with Daemon, loved it. My bad, okay, Alicent and Rhaenyra, you've now learned why you need to give your kids new names.
Let's break the circle.
Okay, it's difficult enough as it is being a podcaster, going like, Aegon, Aemond, which Aegon, I don't even know, Rhaenyra, Rhaena. What? Let's do some other consonants and vowels, okay?
Where's Jim?
Where's Fred? Where's Bob? Where's Matthew? Roderick? Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
Give me something. John. I'll take a John.
Seriously. I just did an ADHD neuro test eval, and one of the things was you had to, like, name different names, all with different letters.
Yep.
Okay, name a whole bunch. And it was like categories, but you're under pressure. Oh, my God.
Mary couldn't do it.
I did. I
Oh, you
did.
did? Oh,
I
sorry.
just told myself, pretend it's categories. Pretend she's not testing her brain. Pretend it's categories. And probably that says something about my brain. Nonetheless, these girls, these ladies, Alicent and Rhaenyra, they need to play categories and pick a different letter than A and R.
Listen, variety is the spice of life.
Yes, that's what they learned the hard way. Okay?
Sucks
or they
to
at least
suck.
need nicknames, like Little Bubby Jr., okay? That's what Aegon should be, new Aegon. And my great is that conversation in the Sept. I thought all of it was remarkable. How about you, Blake, your GBG?
All right, my good is let's get weird, man. Let's get all the weird. You know, they Sarah Hess and Ryan J. Condal, the executive producers of the show, and Condal being the showrunner, they actually teased this episode of feeling like a haunted house kind of style episode.
Yeah.
And I think
hate
that
haunted houses.
I think that they achieved it.
They totally did.
You know, between Daemon's dreams, Alys Rivers, the girl that says, "Oh, you're gonna die,"
How do you know her name?
because that's what they said.
Who said?
From what I recall, they said that was her name.
Oh, I just put weird girl with new eyebrows. She's creepy too. She doesn't blink.
And then
You're
having
gonna die here. Okay, I don't need to be your friend.
and then having Millie Alcock come back to play.
Her name is Alys.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, it is.
There's going to be Alicent and Alys.
Yep.
Stop it, people. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Okay,
having
call her
Millie
creepy girl.
Alcock come back as young Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love things like that.
We'll just call her creepy Harrenhal girl. That's what we're going to call Alys.
Fair enough. And what she represents to Daemon and what he thinks of current Rhaenyra, I just so many great things. And let's get weird, man. I love, you all know, Mary and Blake Media Commandment. Let's get weird. And I'm in on that. My bad. I hate to say this. I hate saying it, because I know it's leading to more.
Okay.
But I just don't care about the new characters. Alan, Adam, the other guy, Ulf, whatever his name is.
Oh, I'm a Targaryen.
Yeah.
That guy.
I just don't care. And every time one of them comes onto the screen, it's like the show has a stroke. Like
no, it means that probably these people are related.
No, I know.
It means that we are going to have to care about them.
I know.
And they'll be like, never mind, I want the throne. I want the throne. No, no, no.
I'm sure that they're going to play a role in what's coming. Otherwise, we wouldn't be spending time with them. But it feels like we're just shoved down our throats.
Agreed.
And it's like, okay, watch out for these guys. Like, there's nothing inherently interesting about
Agreed.
them. Nothing. If there was something inherently interesting, I could be like, okay, yeah, I could see that. But we have Alan and Adam who do nothing but sit at a dock. And then this other guy who looks up at rat catchers and says that he's a Targaryen. Oh, well, okay, what is anything drawing me to them in any way? And it's like nothing. And whenever they come on, the whole thing just, it's like skids. It just drives me crazy. All right, I have a tie for my great. I love, first, that this episode really dives in on a particular theme, right? What starts wars, right? Like, does anybody remember what starts
I feel
wars?
like the theme of this is try to have better communication.
Fair.
And don't name your kids the same thing. There's 26 letters in the alphabet.
But when Sir Simon Strong was talking about the Blackwoods and the Brackens, he says the answer to that of why the war started is lost to time. Sin begets sin begets sin. And we also have similar conversations with Rhaenys and Rhaenyra. It just having this idea as the theme, this question as the theme, it really drives home the point of what the show is trying to do. Where did the war begin? How did it begin? Why did it begin? No one's going to know. And who cares at this point? Because now it's going to happen no matter what we do.
Yes.
So I love when shows are really clearly able to communicate their theme. And this is one of them. So I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, listen, I cannot express to you how fracking incredible that scene between Alicent and Rhaenyra was.
Alicent. Now we have to call her Queen Dowager
I know.
Alicent.
That whole, and I want to save the conversation for a little bit later in the show. But that whole, it's one of the best scenes in the entire Game of Thrones universe that I've ever seen. For so many different reasons. We'll get into them. But that scene is just, by the way, credit where credit is due, and I'm taking all of it, baby.
Go for it, Blake.
I called it. I called it that we were going to get Alicent and Rhaenyra in another episode. I called it that what goes on between them is what sets the war going forward. And then I also called the episode in which it was going to happen. So, throwing it out there right now, I'm batting 1,000, baby.
Congratulations.
Batting a freaking 1,000.
Yes.
So, but that scene was just a beautiful,
It was.
terrible, specifically terrific, directed and written scene. Just so freaking awesome, and we'll get into it. All right, Marvin. What do you got now for Team Green or Team Black?
I am rocking my Team Black. I am here for the Rhaena. I'm here for Rhaena.
Okay.
So Queen Rhaenyra's aunt.
Yes.
I'm here for her. I am her biggest fan
You
right
mean
now.
Rhaenys?
Right. Oh, crap. Yes, Rhaenys. Rhaena is the girl that's being sent off with the eggs and the
No,
babies.
that's Baela.
Rhaena is the one that's staying. Baela is the one that's staying. Baela is the one that has the dragon.
Oh
think
yeah,
Rhaena
Rhaena
is
is
the
the one that's going.
babysitter.
Yep, you're right.
Okay, Rhaenys. I'm here for Rhaenys. I
How
love
come?
her. I love how she's just being calm. She knows what's up. She knew what was up with Daemon right away. She knows what's going on with her husband, and she's trying to say, listen, warm bread is good. Warm broth is good. Don't be getting into war. You just got out of some situations. Please take care of the Lord of Driftmark stuff, by the way. And she knows how to speak to Queen Rhaenyra. And I'm here for her. I love her counsel. I love how she puts Rhaenyra's counsel in their place.
Yeah.
Saying, just so you know, like, calm rulers are kind of good.
Yeah.
So cool
And-
off.
Yeah, and you do well to remember that this is the person who wears the crown of Aegon the Conqueror. So why don't you calm down?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. Rhaenys is she. You know, I don't like using the term boss woman or boss lady because I just think that's kind of.
It's overused and it's not really.
Yeah, it's lost its meaning, number one. But I also think it diminishes it too. Like, no, that lady's just a boss. She gets it. That woman.
Yes.
And
I think just find her to be very wise.
Yeah.
And very strong.
Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Agreed. So I am Team Black for Rhaenyra alone, but also
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys alone, Auntie, blonde
Auntie.
Auntie,
We're going to call her Auntie.
and Queen Rhaenyra.
Yep. Okay.
I'm here for them.
All right.
I loved it all.
All right. Well, if you're watching YouTube
And
or,
Mysteria.
or if you're watching this live on any one of the socials as we're broadcasting, you're gonna see that I'm all in, baby. I'm in on Team Green.
We just did a flip flop.
We did. We totally did. I'm in on Green. You want to know why?
No.
Who are you? Who are you, Portia Featherington? May I present to you the lamp? No. I'm in on Green, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Fool me once, shame on me. Okay? Oh, no, fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Okay. Well, you just chose Black twice.
I know. Just hold on. Listen, the show is so clearly making you want to be Team Black. Like, and it's hard. It's easy to be Team Black. But they held on Rhaenyra's face after Alicent left for a reason. And it's just that little smirk there at the end. And that smirk, to me, is evidence enough that things ain't going to go right for her.
Listen, Alicent made a mistake.
Oh,
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry, I guess we're going to have to go to war because I made a mistake. Well, what?
No. I'm not saying that's wrong.
Wait, so you're Team Green right now.
Yep.
In what sense? That you're like rooting for these people or you think that you want them to win? Because you've got Kristen Cole. You've got Alicent, Queen Dowager Alicent.
I'm in on Alicent. I'm
out now, okay?
I'm
I
in.
was in with her lighting candles and being a nice little hugger, and now she's like, oh, you mean I'm the problem? It's me? Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
Because my dad's not here to help me. So even though I made this mistake, My son's crazy, but he's still my son, so I'm totally cool.
Listen.
My dad's gone, and I'm having a great time with Kristen Cole.
Yep. So listen.
Don't mess things up for me.
Alicent
No, I'm
is
done.
just she
Wow.
is just protecting her own. Maybe a mistake was made, but I'm here
Not
now.
maybe. Didn't you hear the last line?
But
There's
I
been
did.
a mistake.
Well, the last line was there has been no mistake.
No,
She said there's been no mistake.
Alicent realizes she made a mistake, and now she's rewriting so she doesn't
Th-
get quoted
That's what I'm
in
saying.
court.
I'm just saying, listen, she's protecting her own. Whether or not a mistake was made, now irrelevant. Things are the
Wait,
way
so
that they
why
are.
are you Team Green right now?
I'm Team Green because something doesn't sit right with me with Rhaenyra. And the reason why it doesn't sit right is because once Alicent left, they held on Rhaenyra's face and we had that smirk. That's very slight, subtle smirk at the end.
I would have done the same thing.
Because it almost gives her complete license to do whatever she wants.
Yeah. That's
And
the face of,
okay.
you're dead to me.
All right, fair enough. All fair enough. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Wait, so you're going to
Shame
feel
on me.
bad for the Greens.
just let me finish.
Okay.
I seen all this go down with Daenerys before.
Yeah.
Lest we forget, Daenerys is a direct descendant of Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Okay. I also seen what Daenerys did at the end of season 8.
Yes.
I got a feeling something similar is going to happen with Rhaenyra. I'm just telling you, nothing's going to go right with Rhaenyra.
I mean, once again, I don't
She
love...
might even go to King's Landing. She might even take it over.
Yeah.
But something bad's going to happen. And I think because now she's given free reign, because she doesn't have to feel guilty anymore. Like, she doesn't have to feel like, oh, maybe I'm... Like, she knows that a mistake was made. Now she's like, I'm going to take what's mine.
Yeah.
I don't...
I'm here for that.
I'm in on Green now.
I don't love anyone in this show, which is interesting because usually when I don't love anyone,
Then you're out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't love anyone on the show. It's all just varying levels of like who I hate less.
Sure.
But because I don't love anyone, and because this is Game of Thrones, and you know they're all going to die. Here's the scoop, poops. This takes place 200 years before Game of Thrones.
Yep.
All of these people are going to die.
Yes.
I think that's part of the reason why I don't love any of them, because I know they're all going to die. It's kind of like Rogue One with Star Wars.
Sure.
You know they're all dead. So why care about them? I know you're all going to die. It just depends who dies first, who dies by a dragon.
Everyone dies.
They're all going to die. Well, yes, but that's what I'm getting at. Like, all these people are going to have tragic deaths.
One way or the other, I would imagine so.
All of them.
Yes.
All of them are going to do some weird, bad stuff. They're all going to die tragically. And I'm not rooting for any of them to be the last man standing. I'm not rooting right now for any of them to be the Bran.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
But
not
even
like-
then, you didn't even root for Bran anyway.
No, exactly. So I'm like, Game of Thrones, no one here is my Jon Snow.
That's fair. That is, because there's no moral compass
Except-
so far.
Except the Stark boy who loves winter, and he's like, my granddaddy's.
Yeah, Craig
made
and
this-
Stark.
Yeah, Craig and Stark right now. He's the only one I care about. Keep that boy up north.
How could you not care for Jace? I think Jace is a good character. He feels like a good moral compass to the
You want
show.
to know why I don't care about Jace?
Why?
Because I know Jace is probably dying in the next episode or two because he has brown hair, and brown hair babies don't ride
That
dragons
is
for very long.
very fair.
So I don't think Jace is going to make it very long. He's been with his mom a lot, and I just don't see him making it. So I'm not getting attached to him. I think he's a nice kid, but I don't think he's here for very long, so I'm protecting my heart.
Yeah.
The only things I know that make it that long are those 3 eggs. 3 of those 4 eggs. That's all I've got. All right.
I don't know. I'm in on Green now. I kind of want. Here's the thing. I think I'm not sure if things are so bad with Green's in charge. But if Alicent, if Rhaenyra gets in charge,
I completely disagree. I think if Rhaenyra is in charge before she goes too crazy, and then we still have Jace potentially alive, and then we have Baela by Jace's side, and we have Rhaenyra, the auntie, I think we've got some good people. I think the most solid-minded people who are at the top of the food chain are on Black right now. I think we have Aegon, who's bananas. Look at my new suit. We've got Aemond walking around naked with his creepy eye. Okay, get some clothes on, man. Like, they're all crazy. We got Otto who's gone. We've got Laris walking around sucking toes. Like, I am just done with everyone who's in charge in Team Green. The other people around the table, they make a little bit more sense.
Sure.
Whereas the top of the food chain at Team Black, I could hang with them. If they want to burn them all right now, fine. Fine.
Well, you want to know something great, Mary? We have another
Sure.
opinion to be heard,
We do.
and it's your dad.
Oh, my goodness.
Your dad's segment has finally returned.
Yes,
Okay, here we
Dad.
go. Here we go.
Is it for this episode?
Yep.
Hey, this is Mary's dad with a little feedback on episode 3 of House of the Dragon. It is so incredibly complex. There's so many dynamics going on. It's amazing. But I'm trying to think of my good, bad, and great. The good, I'd say, where Rhaenyra tries to make peace. She's incredibly brave to go to King's Landing to try to meet with Alicent and try to make peace. They both feel like things are going out of control, out of their control. They know that it's going to be kind of a mutually assured destruction situation, like the old U.S.-Soviet Union nuclear attack fear that kept both sides from launching an attack. If the dragons fight each other, it's going to be over. The bad is where Aegon made fun of his brother, Aemond, in the House of Pleasure there, and really wounded him quite badly. And the great part, I thought, was Daemon's dream sequence at
Ooh, yes,
Harrenhal, where
He wants to get weird.
confronting his past demons and getting a glimpse of what his future might hold. And the last detail that really got...
It cut off. We're going to break the rule. We're going to break the rule.
It's my dad.
It's your dad.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's Mary's dad again. Just a little short there. The one detail that...
Well, let's hold on. Let's time out. It didn't run short. You ran long.
No.
I'm just throwing that out there. Throwing it out there.
It's my dad. Let him be. Leave him be.
really grabbed me was the crow taking out the eye from the rat catcher. That was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, that was
And,
gross.
If I hadn't been eating the sandwich right at the time, it probably wouldn't have bothered me too much. But that's where a crow would go, of course. The softest spot they could get. But that was pretty gory detail to leave in.
That's
Wonder
where a
what
crow
the
would go.
deeper meaning of that is. That's it for now.
Ooh, the
Take care.
deeper meaning.
Oh, well, why don't you Google it while we're
The
in the
deeper
middle.
meaning of a crow eating an eyeball.
Yeah, sure.
My dad just told us it's the part a crow would naturally go after.
No,
It's the
that's the
softest part.
practical meaning. What's the deeper meaning?
Listen, man, when it's so practical, you don't need to look for deeper. It's just they're trying to be actual.
What was the book that you were reading where you're like...
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the...
Lord of the Flies. Senior year of high school, I decided to dig in and say, why do we have to keep looking at every chapter with the different meanings of what this could be actually? Why can't we just read a book about boys going wild on an island and just read it as the fiction that it is? And why does it always have to have symbolism behind it? My teacher said, Mary, this book was truly written completely for symbolism. And that's the whole reason we're reading it. You bring this point up in the worst book this entire year. Because I was like, I hate this. Like, why can't we just talk about Piggy and, like, you know, all these boys? Why do we have to talk about the symbolism? And actually, he didn't just say Mary. He went, oh, Mary. And that became like a thing my senior year. Oh, Mary. Still plagues me to this day.
Why does it have to have symbolism? Mary, this is Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Mary, this is the Iliad.
Yeah.
Of course, it thought the whole book is one giant symbol.
So you want to
All
know the
right.
symbolism of a crow eating eye?
Well,
Sure,
here we
I'll
go.
look it up,
Ravens and
Dad.
crows often, but not always, represent death. Okay. Naturally, a group of crows is called a murder, after all. Some also consider crows to be messengers that are capable of existing between both worlds. They represent spiritual law, the universal wisdom that physical world must integrate. And this means that crows can be considered a good omen or a bad omen, depending on the number of crows and the context. A single crow is often thought as to be a bad omen, but seeing two could indicate good luck is coming. Seeing three suggests that you're just effed.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Seeing 3 suggests impending change. And many different cultures have all different kinds of representations of what that means. So for me, seeing a crow pick out the eye, as your dad said, that feels like the most natural and easiest place for a crow to go. Makes sense. But picking out the rat catcher's eyes, for me, it symbolizes death is coming, and you won't be able to see clearly. And the future of what is about to come is now murky.
Great.
Because you can't see.
Or it's just the softest, easiest part to get to.
So, yeah. All right. So, that's that. Where else do you want to go?
You take the lead,
All
and
right.
I've got commentary on everything.
All right. So, for me...
Do you just want to get rid of the dead weight, though, first? Ulf, or whatever his name is?
Sure.
Mr. Pretend Targaryen?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's enough said.
Yeah. Is he really related to them? Maybe.
Or is
he
he just
not?
another small folk?
Yeah.
We're being introduced to a lot of small folk. It's Game of Thronesing. We're trying to get to know a lot of people. Is he really a Targaryen?
Yeah. I think the most pertinent question is, we're obviously seeing him. So how does he get himself involved in what's
I
happening?
don't know. Does he fly a dragon? One of these people are going to be flying that dragon. The dragon that's flying around is lonely.
Yeah.
One of these people we've been introduced to, I think, is going to fly that dragon.
That to me feels like Adam. And the reason why I say that...
Bald one?
No, the other one.
Okay.
Dreads Adam.
Yes.
Alan is the bald.
Okay.
Bald Alan. Dreads Adam.
Adam was the one picking up shelled creatures. Like
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yes. I don't think they're showing Sea Smoke flying around lonely and then coming down on Adam for funsies.
Okay.
I think that's clearly where it's going. But this other guy, Ulf, is he related? The most clear question is whether or not he's related. How does he get himself involved into this world?
I think he opens the door that there's other family members who we don't know about.
Sure.
That's at least opening this conversation.
Sure. Or
whether he's being honest or not.
Yeah. And that to me opens up the door to Alan and Adam.
I
right?
agree.
Being part of the Valerian crew. Here's the other thing. Whether or not they are actually biologically related almost seems irrelevant because maybe you could just choose your own heir. Maybe at some point Corlys decides one of these two jabronis is going to be my heir.
Yeah, they actually know ships.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Right.
And then from that, you can then ride a dragon.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, because he's talking about, I don't want these little babies being the Lord.
Yep.
I don't want Rhaena being the Lord.
Yep. Because they don't know nothing about ships.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what that.
But my ship friends do.
That's what that
my
feels
new
like.
ship friends.
That's what maybe they become the Lord of the whatever it is.
Okay.
The Lord of the ships or whatever it is. Lord of the tides. I feel like that's where that's going.
I can see that.
Okay. And I do wonder.
It's taking its time.
Yeah, and I do. Well, see, that's the thing. I think House of the Dragon is one of those shows that is very intentional. It is very intentional with its pace. It is very intentional with its players, and it has mastered the art of having all these little things happen, and then you look back and you're like, "Whoa! Like, how did we get here?" And then again, it plays into that theme of, wait, how did this all begin? Where did it begin? When did it begin? And then suddenly you're then hit off the head, or hit off whatever, you know what I mean?
Hit over the head.
Hit over the head with a big major thing, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. I think the show has done that so far. But I still can't help but wonder, does Aegon learn about Ulf? You know, is there some way that he uses Ulf, right? Like I also don't think it's by chance that Ulf is talking the way that he's talking and Aegon shows up. Yes, he says, Rhaenyra is the one true queen and whatever. But those are just words, right? Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Something is there between those two. Something
Agreed.
that's going to happen there. All right, so that's the dead weight.
Knock
Goodbye.
him out.
See you later. What else you got?
Let's get to Harrenhal. That flight of Daemon through the rain,
Yes.
going by the lake, going to this tower.
Yep.
The sight, the viewpoint from Daemon on
Yeah.
top of the dragon, that has been one of my favorite shots
Yeah.
of House of the Dragon so far, including both seasons, not just this
Yep.
season. That truly, like, one of the things that set Game of Thrones apart was how well they did dragons and how much they captivated us, and the dragons flying sequences when they were all born. They just did a really great job.
Yep.
And it only continued to get better as the CGI got better. And so for this, I think this was that moment.
Yep.
I can't wait. Like, I want to watch it. We don't watch, obviously, this show with our children. Our children are young. But this dragon sequence flying, I want to show our kids who
Yeah,
love
'cause
dragons.
he would love it.
because it makes you feel like you're doing it.
Yeah. It's not a point of view that I don't think we've ever had yet in Game
I
of
agree.
Thrones.
That's why it was a it felt like the roller coaster ride videos that you see
Yes.
when people wear GoPros.
Yep.
That's what it made me feel like. Like
Yep.
I was on this dragon itself. And then he of course lands and there's no one there. This is the biggest castle.
Mhm.
It's raining, it's murky. He's walking around. And what was so interesting is all of the tree roots that are exposed in this burned down castle. Now, this is the castle, Harrenhal.
Yes.
I need a little bit more background with him, but this is where his brother was crowned king.
Yes, because it was the only castle large enough in the land
Mhm.
to house all of the people that were at the crowning.
So we're talking like season 1, episode 1. We're revisiting this place. We see the broken down, torn banners.
Correct.
So if you didn't recognize that, do not worry. I didn't recognize it, but I listened to the episode with the audio description. It's like
Yep.
Daemon turns around and sees the same room that his brother was crowned in.
Yep.
You know, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I would not have known that.
That'll do it.
Thanks a lot. Walking around, he finally finds that soldier.
Yep.
Knocks that poor little guy out. He was probably just on his way to get
Yeah.
peas.
Or he was just going to take a pee.
Yeah, leave him
know,
alone.
He's just doing his own
Hopefully
thing.
his face is okay. And then Daemon goes inside, and the nicest, basically Westeros' version of Santa is sitting there. Hello? Would you like to sit? You want some venison,
Yep.
some peas, Merry Christmas?
I almost get the sense that Daemon was looking for a fight.
100%. He went there after fighting Queen Rhaenyra.
Right. It's a little bit of a trope, but I can see the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, when a guy has something really bad happen to him and he goes to the bar and he has a couple of drinks and he picks a fight
Mm-hmm.
just because he needs to feel something else, that kind of reminded me of what Daemon was doing. But the great thing is there was no fight to be had. And he even tries to do it. He even
Yes.
tries to say, I'm claiming Harrenhal with the expectation of, oh, no, you're not. The guy goes, yeah, oh, okay, looks like you did.
Great. We're all just going to bow down.
Yep, sounds great.
They're eating. He's saying, I think you're going to poison me. They're like, we're not going to poison you, so please don't waste this beautiful venison.
Right.
And this awkward, poor little Santa, Harrenhal Santa, he keeps calling him Prince.
Oh, my prince.
My Prince. Which he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yes.
Mind you, he was probably there when his brother was crowned.
Yep.
What is my grace only for the tippity top person?
Well, your grace.
or your
Yeah.
Yeah, like my grace. So
No,
he's at least
your grace.
your whatever. I don't understand. Why is it your grace?
I don't know.
Because it's like you're my king, whatever. Anyway,
Yes,
grace.
that's for the tippity top people.
So he should only be saying that to Queen Rhaenyra, not her husband.
Well, he gives an explanation of, oh, well, you're the king consort. I'm not
Why
sure.
can't you just share it for everybody
Why
who's
can't
royal?
you just not even worry about it?
Yeah, just say excuse me. Like don't call him his name. Just say how do you like the peas?
Yes, that's what I do with your mom.
Exactly.
Hey, you.
Yeah. It's like when you don't know what to call your in-laws because you're like, this is really awkward. Just hey you. Hey, you, how's the venison?
Hey,
you,
do
we're
you
not
like
trying
that
to kill you.
drink?
But it
You
got
can have
really
all of Harrenhal.
awkward. How did you take all of that with Daemon?
Oh, well, it feels very much to me. Again, let's reference The Crown. It feels very much like Prince. What's his name?
Good job, Blake.
The husband, Queen Elizabeth's husband.
Yeah, Philip.
Philip, yes, Prince. It feels a
Okay.
lot like Prince Philip,
Oh.
where he serves as a secondary role to the Queen, and he can't accept it, and he's making things up for him because, and it's very fitting that
To me,
Matt
he's
Smith
just like,
is.
I'm the Kennedy option.
Yes, right.
How dare you? Did you not know? I'm putting my name in the ring. Why was I not invited to the debate?
Right, exactly.
I want to talk about my golf game.
Oh, yep.
Anyway.
we're gonna leave it there.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I
We're
just
gonna
think
leave
it's
it
a
there.
fun little thing.
So yeah, that's the way that I see it. And here's the thing, though, Mary. You know that I love visual storytelling, and Game of Thrones, I think, has made its bones on giving you a very distinct visual language. There are certain things that when you think of Game of Thrones, like at least that I do, I think of certain scenes, right? I think of Ned Stark, taking the kid's head off in like the first episode and talking about, what it means to be a Stark, and when winter is coming. I think of Jon Snow at the Battle of the Bastards, holding the sword as all the horses are coming. I think of Daenerys walking out of the fire. I mean, heck, I'll even go along to say that I think of the Night King walking up to Bran. Like, there are these certain visual cues that are Game of Thrones and can only happen in Game of Thrones, if you know what I mean. Like, that certain visual language. And I get that sense with Daemon walking into Harrenhal. Like, it's the lightning in the background. It's all blue and rain, and they have that beautiful shot of Daemon, his silhouette in the archway as he's about to walk down the stairs. Like, that is a great moment. Like, a great visual moment. Even as he's walking down the stairs and it zooms up on him and he has his sword pointing outward. It felt like this is House of the Dragon. It felt like this is its own thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's the show hasn't been dependent on Game of Thrones, but I think that it has struggled a little bit to separate itself. And this episode is one of the first episodes where I felt like this is becoming its own thing now. And that to me is what kicked it off. And then I think what happens at the end is also what solidifies it for me. But we'll get there in a little bit.
So while Damon's here, we meet this weird girl who
Yes.
you've named Alys. I don't remember them saying her name, so
Okay.
maybe you just figure this out.
All right,
But
fair
the
enough.
creepy girl, she doesn't bow. Everyone bows.
Yep.
She doesn't bow to Daemon. And then when he's walking around having his little nightmare, or was it a nightmare? Some of it is, some of it isn't. Mind you, there's a weirwood tree at Harrenhal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if those are the tree's roots that are throughout it. So if lots of people have these visions and have this magical kind of stuff happen
Yeah.
to them while they're in this castle,
There was certainly something going on. It's said, obviously, since Aegon the Conqueror, like, basically burned it down because Harrenhal wouldn't give in to his reign. There's been a curse on Harrenhal since, like, curse, like,
Yeah.
like Curse of the Bambino,
Yeah.
type deal, right? But something other is happening there.
agreed.
I don't know what it is.
But now we've got another creepy girl.
Yeah, it's another creepy. Yes.
You're gonna die here. Okay, so I'm gonna believe her.
Yeah,
Do you
thanks
think?
for that.
Do you think he's gonna die at Harrenhal?
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, that's part of my hot take.
you
You
can't
want the
be a
hot take
creepy.
right now?
You can't be a creepy kid near a tree and lie.
I agree. You can't lie. It's
All we know is
impossible.
that tree tells the truth. Okay.
Do you want my hot take now?
I would love it.
All right, here we go. We'll do the hot take. All right. So since there are things that are otherworldly, seemingly going on in Harrenhal, it feels like it. It feels very like Shining-esque, if you will.
Yes.
Something is going to happen with Daemon. And my thought is that he either dies at the end of this season
Ooh.
or he dies at the beginning of next season.
At Harrenhal.
And he dies at Harrenhal. And what happens, I don't know what it is yet, but I'm thinking that because he sees Rhaenyra as young Rhaenyra, like, he is seeing things that are real but otherworldly overlaid on top of the real world, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Right? Because it's like sleepwalking. Because when he sees Rhaenyra, he's not there, but he's in this graveyard, right? Where, near the weirwood tree, where the creepy girl is. So to me, it feels like he is going to see somebody, and let's just say that he thinks he's going to see Rhaenyra. Like, he thinks he sees Rhaenyra, whether she's young, old, whatever, doesn't matter. But it's not actually Rhaenyra.
Maybe it's creepy girl.
And no, to me, it's going to be Aemond.
Oh.
And then Aemond and Daemon are going to fight at Harrenhal, and Daemon's going to lose.
Do you think Daemon ever leaves?
No.
You think he's here? He's here till he dies.
That's a good
Does
question.
he get to go home for summer break? Maybe Thanksgiving? Come back?
That's a good question.
Does he get a holiday? Or is it only venison and peas here on out?
Now that he's at Harrenhal and his life with Rhaenyra is seemingly over, I don't know what else there is much more for him to do, unless he goes and does something, off the wall and petulant like he would do, like go to Harrenhal or go to the Step Zones and do what he's supposed to and go kill the Crab King or whatever it was. Unless he does something like that, I think he's stuck at Harrenhal for the rest of this show.
That sucks for him.
Yeah.
Great for us, because I love how weird it's getting.
Yeah,
but
I so
sucks
want
for
it to
him.
keep getting weird. I so want it to keep getting weird for him. I want him to see all the weird stuff.
I agree.
I want him to see, he saw Jaehaerys's, Rhaenyra sewing up Jaehaerys's head to his neck. Let's get some more weird with that stuff, man. I'm in. I'm so in for that.
Awesome.
Anything else about Harrenhal that you
Feeling
want to
good.
discuss?
I like when they talked about Larys strong. I liked
Yes.
when he said, let's put 2 and 2 together. Larys sucks. How would anyone burn in this wet place? Thank you
Right.
very much. We're out on Larys. So I like Harrenhal Santa. I'm
Yeah.
here for this.
Harrenhal Santa. But yeah, what do you think it means to Daemon that he sees young Rhaenyra instead of older Rhaenyra? What do you think that is for him, and is she there for a specific purpose?
I think just that I've been cleaning up your messes forever, even since I was a kid.
Yes.
And you look at what you've done to the family and to the family line.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Look at what you did, you little jerk. Line from Home Alone.
Yeah, I also think that there's something to be said for the fact that it's younger Rhaenyra. Like, he has a connection with younger Rhaenyra.
I mean, kind of grosses me out, but sure.
But it's nonetheless true, right? And maybe it takes the presence of younger Rhaenyra to kind of put him back into his place and stop seeing older Rhaenyra as the competitor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or maybe it's showing that he respects younger Rhaenyra, but not older Rhaenyra, right? Like, oh, I should probably listen to this version of her as opposed to what I have now, right? Like, I think there's a number of things there. Like, either it is out of respect or a clear push towards disrespect, right? Either way. So that's my thought on that.
Okay.
Anything else about Harrenhal that you want to talk about?
No.
All right. Where else do you want to go?
Let's go Team Green for a little while and hang out with them, because I'm all like, meh. I'm not Team Green, so I'd rather just get them done with.
Okay.
We get Queen Dowager Alicent's brother, who comes in like, oh, I've been traveling for 3 months.
Yeah.
And my dad got fired.
Yeah.
We're not friends.
You get the sense that he kind of knows something's up with Kristen Cole and...
Well, and then Kristen Cole says, give me your hanky.
Right.
Your bosom hanky.
Right.
She just want to do it in front of everybody.
And does she, just carry that around at all times?
Yeah, like, what is this? Do you not have pockets? You're
Imagine
the Queen Dowager.
the
Get
boob
pockets.
sweat that must be on that thing?
I mean, I appreciate, let's be real, a lot of people who've got a chest, we can put things in there.
Sure.
I often put my phone in there.
Fair.
Okay?
Fair.
No one's for the wiser. But when you're the queen and you have a custom outfit made for you, I wouldn't be opposed to having a hanky pocket. But I do think that that's the place where they always pull it out. Maybe it's because it smells good. Maybe your perfume and stuff.
Fair. Okay, fair enough.
But I see that as more the young maiden. Oh, goodbye, Sir Knight. Let me pull my hanky from my bosom because it smells like my perfume and bosom. Girlfriend, you've got a million kids. You're old in Westeros terms. Granted, you're like 5 years old in real life time because you don't, you're still super young looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought it was awkward for him to have her do it in public in front of other people.
Yeah, that felt like a giant, like
proclaimed to me.
Yeah, that was an alpha move, if you know what I mean.
Because I feel like other people would see it. Like, maybe this hanky is something and something happens and Queen Alicent Dowager's brother sees it and says, why do you have my sister's hanky? But, like, you did it right there. I felt like her brother saw that happen.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm saying it was an alpha move. Like,
Yeah.
it was meant to be like, oh, yeah, you're here? Sure. That's great for you. I love that for you.
You're making me take your little brother or your big brother on this trip?
Yeah.
Give
Okay.
me a hanky.
Yeah. You're not
we
getting it back.
Yeah.
It's his version of stealing her sweatshirt.
Yes. Or whatever the scarf or sweater that Taylor Swift sings about.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to keep this.
Oh, man.
Super awkward. And now he has a new necklace. Remember we were talking about how would Kristen Cole get the hand?
Right.
He didn't get a magnet.
Nope, he got a necklace.
He got a necklace.
Hey.
And it's not just one hand. It's like a million hands connected. They made that quick.
That was. You know what? They have unlocked a certain speed.
It's Hugh, I bet. Hugh is like,
Yes.
this is what I can't even get a friggin' chicken, but I have to make a 20-hand necklace.
My wife's got to go to that Shaw's.
My God.
You want me to make a
My
necklace?
daughter's coughing. A 20-hand necklace? What happened to the one hand? Thought I could just make a magnet one, a little clip-on.
Can you give me a quarter for the carriage? At
Why
least?
don't you just paint a hand? You know that Hugh was saying that.
Yeah.
I got to make this 20 hands interlocking. They can't just paint a hand on his chest. Why doesn't he just wear a shirt? 20 hands.
Get a T-shirt.
Send me a chicken.
I'm with the hand.
I hope he made one of the hands like a chicken or
Yeah.
something. Like the one behind that you can't see.
Oh man.
We have Aegon really wanting to fight.
Yeah.
And Aemond says no. And then, of course, Larys kind of plays into this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Larys telling Aegon not to go to battle, to take off his new outfit, his grandpappy's outfit?
I love it because it separates Aegon from Kristen Cole. And Larys is showing his value to the king. And to me, this isn't for funsies. This is a calculated move. No, don't go. Because he wants him away from Kristen Cole. We all know that the idea here is to gain more influence in court. And if Kristen Cole is gone, who else is there to advise him? Larys Strong, right? And to me, it almost feels like Sir Kristen Cole ain't going to make it through this season.
Oh, wow.
That's my thought.
What is interesting is Larys kind of throws at Queen Dowager Alicent under the table a little bit. He says, hey, there's some rumors that say that you're really brave and you got a really cool outfit. Congratulations, is as much as a castle.
Yep.
Nice. Probably smells wicked bad. Anyway, other people are saying that while you're gone, your mom has got nice toes. Did you notice? How are your toes? Can I see your toes in this costume? And your brother are going to take over. And I don't like that because, I like it because it's going to make for interesting TV.
Chaos is a
but
ladder.
I do not think that Queen Dowager Alicent has any clue
No.
that Larys, watch my toes, is going to be making her son fear her.
Yeah, and this again feels like, okay, where does all this begin?
He's the little finger
Where,
of this crew. Yeah.
Absolutely. Where does it all begin and where does it all end?
Mm-hmm.
And
he got a promotion. He's the Master of Whispers.
Master of Whispers now. And more importantly, Mary, this is another example of how things are happening around the king or around Alicent that are just out of their control. There are people that are manipulating the situation and there isn't enough control to hold the manipulation back. This is a train that is chugging. There's no stopping it now. And the show has done it in such an organic way that you don't even realize until we have that conversation later on where it's like, oh yeah, no, this ain't gonna stop.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna. Again, it's a masterful setup. It's a masterful setup.
Why did we go to the brothel? So after Aegon takes off his new outfit, and Larys tells him, "Listen, buddy, you should probably stay here, or else your mommy and your brother are gonna take over."
Which, by the way, that armor was Aegon the Conqueror's armor.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Who he was named after.
Yes.
And that's not the prince that was promised.
No.
Yeah. See, another Aegon. Get a new name.
Well, Aegon the Conqueror was
the Aegon in the story.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. So, Aegon, current king,
Yes. Aegon the Second.
takes off his clothes and takes his chump friends,
Yeah.
jabronis, as you like to call them.
Yep.
Jabroni, the new jabroni, Kingsguard, and the White
Yes.
Knight things.
Although I will give him credit, I like how he's like, well, it's your vow of
Fidelity?
celibacy.
Oh,
They're like, yeah, okay, sure. And he's like, no.
But then he takes them
But then
to
he
the
takes
brothel.
them. Right. So to me, that is more indicative of Aegon, and he wants to be the guy.
He wants to be the right king and a
but
good king.
Yes, but he can't. He just can't.
He's got too much bro in him.
Yes, and he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know how to comport himself.
They brought in these new soldiers because they've lost some, especially that last one, which
Yes.
I loved that whole conversation. Like, yeah, we lost that last one. We shouldn't have, Eric.
By the way, speaking of Eric, a bit of editing here. I so have to give credit to the editor of this episode. It's probably one of my favorite transitions in a while. It's you have a shot of the Cargill brothers that are getting buried.
Eric and Eric.
Eric and Eric. They're getting buried. And Rhaenyra throws the dirt on them.
Yes.
And as she throws the dirt on them, the scene is a smash cut to Sir Criston Cole. And Sir Criston Cole is looking down while Eric and Eric are looking up. And it's like Criston Cole is looking down at their bodies because he's the one who created that.
After Auntie Rhaenys said, this wasn't Alicent.
Right.
This was someone, this is a boy with a hot temper.
Yes.
Who acted brashly,
Yeah,
essentially.
she said Otto Hightower would have
yeah,
never
it wasn't
done
Hightower.
this. It looks like hotter blood has prevailed.
And it goes right to Criston Cole.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. It's like that is great. 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 Great
Yes.
editing. Oh.
I love that they were buried together, just like they were in the womb together.
Yes.
They were buried side by side. Such a beautiful way of opening. Can we talk about the Bracken and Blackwood?
Also, another great bit of editing. Holy smokes, was that great. It doesn't matter. The battle doesn't matter. How did it begin? How did it end? Who cares? All that matters is that we've seen these bunch of jabronis talking together. They're fighting about nothing. And then in a perfect friggin' edit, we go from the Blackwood kid being alive and being like, oh, no.
And taunting.
To then a smash cut to the same kid in the same frame, the same composition. DED dead with a sword in his throat.
Yep.
And then it zooms out. You see the burning mill. The fact that we started on the mill with the creaking sounds.
It was working. It looked nice.
And then we see just this whole large swath of dead body. I mean, Mary, you can't.
That was aggressive. Where do these people come from?
Hold on. Let this play out.
Makes me wanna shout.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it was just a lot of people. A lot of dead bodies.
Yeah.
It was aggressive.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be like 40,000 strong between the two armies.
Just died?
No. Like, if the Blackwoods and the Brackens could come together.
Say 20 and 20.
2020.
Yeah.
If they
20,000,
could come together,
20,000.
it would be the largest army
Yeah,
in
I'm just
all
saying
of...
that fight.
Yeah. That was a
windmill
big fight.
How can you fight over all these dead bodies? Where did they all come from? Was there a bell? Hey, guys, get my friends. Like to me,
We're
it just
getting
looked
picked
like
on.
6-8 guys, 6-8 kids, essentially
Yeah.
doing their job.
Yeah, that's probably how it
patrolling.
started.
But then where did everybody else come from? How'd you
Well,
find out?
I'm sure that they figured it out.
Pretty quick. They must have horns or something.
And I'm glad we didn't see the battle. I don't need the battle.
Agreed.
I don't even care about it.
Agreed.
Like, what do we need it for? Like, there's
But we
nobody
need
there
to
we
know
care
that bloodshed is happening,
Yes.
that tension is picking up.
Yeah.
You have chosen your sides. You are a baby slayer, a kin
Yep.
slayer,
Yep.
or you are with the false king.
Yep.
And people feel very heated.
And again, things are happening outside of the king and queen's control.
Where's the Switzerland in Westeros?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Where can you just say it's probably the wall?
Yeah, probably. Where it's
Leave
just
us be.
Yeah, we're
We're
doing
making
our own
icicles,
Thing.
okay? We're just trying to rebuild this wall.
Yeah.
Take care of things. There's worse things than death. Leave us alone.
Oh man.
Right. We send our babies away.
Yes, and they're off to the Vale.
Pentos.
Well, no,
Oh.
they're yes, ideally to Pentos, but with a stop in the Vale, with Lady Jane,
Aaron. Yeah.
Aaron, to like kind of learn the ropes and
What is?
get-
I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of confused. So Queen Rhaenyra says, "Please take
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Oh God, Queen Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Blonde queen takes her two blonde-haired babies and her youngest dark-haired baby,
Yes.
Joffrey, because that's a unique name. And she says, "Dear Rhaenyra,
You want to know something
Rhaena,
even funnier?
Dear Rhaena."
One of the blonde hair babies,
Oh, his name's Aegon.
his name's Aegon.
Yeah. Let's just call him Living Blonde Baby.
Sure.
Living Blonde Baby Boy 1, Living Blonde Baby Boy number 2. Anyway, so she says to Rhaena, crabby sister,
Yes.
dragonless sister.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go there. Let's go there. You need to take care of these kids.
Mhm.
You need to take care of the 2 baby dragons. Who are those? Whose dragons are those? Have
So
they been
one of them is going to Lady Jane
as a present?
as the price to be
she
paid.
can't ride it,
Yes.
but you can have this as a pet, Taraxes or whatever.
Yep.
Have the other dragons claimed, or are they too young to be claimed by a person?
I think they're too young to be claimed by a person.
And then-
Or one of them, yeah, one of them might be for Rhaena,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just too young.
Well, remember she tried to take over the dragon. It didn't want her, so she
Right.
might be broken. She might be Squib.
she
from
could
Harry
be. She
Potter.
could totally
Like-
be a squib.
Like, just doesn't have the dragon touch.
Yep,
None of them
absolutely.
want.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a little nervous that one of these eggs is going to go away this season because there are 4.
Yeah, no, one of them either hatches or one of them gets broke somehow, or it gets
Oh
stolen.
my God, they're going to be like, "Don't drop it."
Yeah, and then it's just, oh my
Yeah,
God.
but I'm wondering if one
Yeah.
gets stolen.
Maybe.
I'd like one to be stolen and then break on the way. Let's see a dragon egg break.
Sure.
How dramatic is that?
That'd be
I don't
cool.
need to see the goop, but I'm just saying it'd be pretty
Yeah.
dramatic and pretty sad.
That would be sad. And then what happens to the other 3? Like we know what happens to the
Yeah.
other 3, right? But how do they end up where they end up?
Mhm.
I'm sure. I'm not sure if I want to see that totally, but it'd be fun to at least infer it.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe somebody takes it away, and that's that.
Dragonless Rhaena seems totally out on this whole idea. She does
Yes.
not want to be a babysitter.
No.
She's still mad that her mom's dragon didn't pick her and picked Aegon. She's still really upset about that. She
Yep.
says, "You're sending me away because I don't have a dragon. This sucks." And then her face changes when she sees the eggs.
Right.
Why?
Because that might be her opportunity to prove her value and come back and be like, "Oh no, you're all wrong. Look at me now."
In what way, look at me now? Because she has a dragon, or just
Yes.
because I took it as, oh wow, this is a big deal. I took it as this was when it hit her because she is still young. This is when it hit her that
we
what?
just the decision making that we have between the two of us
Yeah.
right now, we couldn't be any more different in terms of, oh, I took it like I'm proud. Oh, you took it that way. And I'm like, oh, I took it like she's going to come back and say, you're all screwed now.
You guys gave me 6 dragons. I didn't even get 1. Now I've got 6. 4 eggs, 2 babies, all mine. I win. No, I took it as I don't want to be a babysitter. This
Yeah.
sucks. You guys are ostracizing me because I'm not a dragon rider right now. And then when she saw the future rests upon you, but she
Yeah.
saw it in dragon egg form, that's when it dawned on her, oh my God, My
Yeah.
whole family is probably going to die.
Yeah.
I have to take care of the future kings, and I have to take care of the future dragons.
Yes.
Granted, she was still crabby as she walked away with Bela, her sister,
Mhm.
but at that moment, her face to me said that she started to kind of understand
Yeah.
you are in charge of our future.
Yeah.
And what could that potentially mean? Doesn't sound like Grampy wants to make you Lord of Driftmark
No, I think Driftmark's out now.
or Bela either. Oh, was it Bela? Who was supposed to be? It was Luke. Dead Luke, chomped on Luke. Yum yum.
Yes.
He was the Lord of Driftmark. So there is no Lord of Driftmark.
Yum yum. Oh my God, Mary. Yeah, that was who it was supposed to be.
So now there's no
So now-
Lord of Driftmark.
Well, no, there is. It's
his-
Corlys,
Okay, but he needs to give it
but
to
he
someone
needs an
else.
heir,
Okay, yes.
and he doesn't want to give it to Bela because she doesn't know nothing about ships.
Well, whose fault is that,
Well,
Corlys?
I agree. That's his fault. He's the one who screwed it up, and it probably was actually supposed to be Rhaenyra, right?
Yeah.
But he's obviously gone. So
Sea Smoke's confused.
yes, he grows restless every day. So yeah, I like how the show can do this. If you can put it together, you can understand that those were Daenerys' eggs. If you put it together, that they're going to Pentos and they're going to the east, and and this is the future.
Yes.
And we know what that future is.
Ooh. Okay, I don't think Bela is long for this earth. She seems a little... She's got some cojones, you know what I mean?
Well,
like
yeah,
flying in close.
Chasing down Sir Kristen
Yeah.
Cole, going
So,
all Top Gun on
I don't know
everybody.
who's going to die first, her or her betrothed Jace. I don't think either of them are...
I think Jace is going to go first.
I would... Maybe, but he's not really getting out much. Bela's the one flying around getting really close.
That's true. That's a good point.
How mad will babysitter Rhaena, dragonless Rhaena, be when Bela gets killed?
I don't think she'll be mad. I think
Well, that's her sister who she loves.
Well, yeah.
She's not going to be mad at her family. She's just going to be mad at
Oh,
the world.
like I'm gonna be like maybe that's how the dragon eggs get taken somewhere else.
Maybe she shakes it. Come on,
Yeah,
wake
yeah.
up! How do you guys hatch?
Oh
we
man,
got work
Mary.
to do.
Mary, that's a hot take right there. That is a hot take.
How do we speed this up? Where's the microwave?
Oh my goodness, Marvin. That's a Chernobyl take.
Or she puts like one of the baby dragons on each foot and kind of tries to fly around like they're rollerblades or water
Oh,
skis.
Man.
I'm
woof.
coming, sister. I'll
Wow.
figure it out.
Oh,
Like the
man.
little terrible terrors that the guys go away on How to
Yes,
Train Your
right,
Dragon.
right.
That's what it's like. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
let's get to Queen Rhaenyra's plan to get into the Sept, dressed like a little nun.
Yeah, the shame nun. That's what she was dressed like.
Yes, they
A-
come in on a
sister of the
fishing
Seven
boat.
or whatever it is.
She's got one of her bodyguards,
Yeah.
and she sneaks into the Sept.
So first, let's talk about a couple of practical things.
How do you get this outfit?
Number one, how do you get the outfit?
Where's all your money coming from?
Number two, how do you sneak into this place so easily?
The fishing boat.
And then but Daemon snuck in there, and then we have Sir Eric Cargill sneaking into their place, and now she's sneaking back into the Red Key. And then on top of that, how did you go from Dragonstone to King's Landing in a day?
Aren't they close?
No, they're like thousands of miles
Well,
apart.
maybe it's not a day.
But I'm just saying the way that it was portrayed. There's some.
The wind was at their back.
But here's what I'm gonna say.
Why didn't they take a dragon?
No, they
hop,
can't
skip
take a
it-
dragon. You can't take a dragon.
take a dragon, hop, skip, and a jump close by to King's Landing.
Oh, kind of like when
land.
you ask your mom to drop you off at the mall,
Yes, and then
like
you walk
a couple
over.
of blocks
That's
before.
what happened.
Yeah.
She had her dragon drop him off.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Come back for me tomorrow.
Fair.
Same time, same place. Don't let my friend see you. It's not cool.
Yes. Definitely not cool.
Whatever you do, don't call me honey.
My mom, please do not play Barbra Streisand at the top of the radio volume, dropping me off.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but there's a lot of practical things that need to be answered. But here's another Mary and Blake Media commandment: stats are for nerds. Stats are for nerds. What do we care? What does it matter? Really? What does it matter? It's like
Matters
an
to me.
It's like an Outlander with the stupid bread and the penicillin and they don't make penicillin. Whatever. So what? Stats for nerds.
There
Who
you go.
cares?
Okay. So
Who cares?
So you've moved on. She's now in the Sept.
She's in the Sept. It is what it is. Okay, great. Thematically, it works perfectly. Now, Mary, are you in love with this scene
Yes.
as much as I am?
Yes.
Why?
These are two very powerful people who feel a lot, who honestly, all of these episodes have been resolving around and are seemingly powerless at the current time as all
Yes.
these men around them, these hot-headed men are making all these moves. And they have, honestly, in my opinion, they do have the potential to stop this.
Yep.
Alicent doesn't see it. She's got a fixed mindset.
Well, it
she's
feel-
got some personal development. Oh, no. I
it
think
feels like Rhaenyra has some fixed mindset, too.
no, she's trying to say let's find peace when she's actively having this conversation.
But she's not willing to give anything. Oh, let's find peace. If it's all on my terms. You can just step down. Are you telling me it is okay? It would be just hunky freaking dory if Alicent showed up and was like, hey guys, guess what? I misheard Viserys. I misheard him. Sorry, that sucks. We gotta go now. The hotel's kicking us out. No, you can't do that.
No, that's not what I think would happen. Because her dad's planned this forever. This wasn't just, oh, I heard my husband's dying wish and I heard Aegon and I misinterpreted it. Her dad said, please go sleep with this gross old dying king to make babies. Yay, you had some male babies. Congratulations, we're going to raise them to become the next king. This has been a long game plan by Otto Hightower. Alicent, I think, could make some moves and not necessarily hand over the throne, but I do think that she can make some moves and help Rhaenyra's cause.
Do you think that eventually the war will get so bloody and so ugly that maybe there will be, this is what I feel like will happen. There will be some kind of detente eventually. Like, so many people will die. There has to be another kind of meeting of the minds. And maybe it gets proposed that maybe the Greens take one half of Westeros
Yeah,
and
I
the
love it.
Blacks take the other half
Yeah,
of Westeros.
I'm here for that.
We all know that that doesn't happen.
No.
Or maybe it does happen and it doesn't work out.
I mean, I play Game of Thrones Risk, and there's
Yeah.
definitely definite territories carved out.
But yeah, I feel like that could be a thing. But Rhaenyra, she says, it's very clear, Mary, there can be peace. Okay, but, like, what are you going to do? And Rhaenyra says, oh, no, nothing. Like, I'm just going to show up. And you're going to...
That wasn't
Like,
a fully
Rhaenyra-
hatched hand. She said, I'm willing to talk peace, and now that we figured out, this all happened really quickly. I don't think Rhaenyra is saying you guys all need to bow down to me. She came and said, can we please find a way to have less bloodshed, to find
Fair.
some way of peace? Rhaenyra, when she goes there, doesn't know that Queen Dowager Alicent misheard. She's honestly going, thinking what she heard was what she heard.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Like, this was all...
This is all brand new.
This is all brand new. So what we've seen from Queen Rhaenyra is that she does like to digest stuff. I take this as, oh, you just admitted fault.
Yeah.
This is actually going to be a lot easier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you tell people, maybe half of your people will turn to my team.
Yeah.
You don't like your sons anyway. You just admitted. You said your son's a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, that was a little scary. It was a little scary when she says, you know what Aemond is.
Yeah, and you said your dad's not here. Guess what? We were besties then. We can be besties now.
Yeah.
I've got a really nice place. I'm giving dragons away like they're nothing. Do you want one?
Yep. Yeah, you can have one.
You can have one. don't shake it.
Just don't. Stay away from the microwave.
Yeah, like I could see Queen Dowager Alicent backing away and saying, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go hang out with the other people for a little while.
Right. I loved this scene because it is a perfectly executed scene in every single way. Yes, there is the craft of it, right? It's the writing. It is the acting, the directing, right? It's all of those things. But as we have talked about a lot in Mary and Blake Media, there's a difference. We talked about a moment before with Daemon and walking down the stairwell at Harrenhal. There's a difference between moments and scenes, right? Moments are great.
Kelly Clarkson sings about him.
Yes, she does.
Some people wait a lifetime.
A moment is, I don't know, Luke pulling out his lightsaber for the first time, or blowing up the Death Star. That's a moment, right? E.T. flying in front of the moon. That's a moment. But the thing about those moments are that they are backed up by beautifully written scenes, right? Like the emotionality, the culmination of those moments. Roy Scheider with the cigarette coming out of his mouth when in Jaws, when he sees Jaws. That's a moment, right? But it is informed by what has happened before. And this scene between the two is electric. It feels like
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
it feels like anything can happen in this scene. It feels like they could say anything. You're living in that moment. You have been in this place before. You've watched Alicent light these candles before. You've been in the Sept when it blew up later on in Game of Thrones. Like we know this, and the director knows this too, because she makes it a point to show the other sister light the candle in between both Rhaenyra and Alicent. Maybe this is a road to peace or whatever, or like she shows that like God kind of look that's like turning over them, so that you could see all of the Sept. Like you have a real sense of where you are, that you're in this space with them. And the two of them are the chemistry between the two actresses is just through the roof.
Yeah.
And the moment, my favorite moment, favorite moment is when Alicent says the conqueror. Like it hits her, and she's kind of looking out. She's not looking at Rhaenyra, but she's not looking away. She's just kind of looking out. And she just stands there. And the show does such a great job of letting that silence be. And then she turns around like, oh my God. Right? And it having that back and forth, that defense and offense, and having that conversation and the realization, the subtext of that whole scene, all of it comes together. The writing, the directing, the subtext, the spacing, the composition, the lighting, all of it came together to make this beautifully magical moment between these two characters that you want them to be together. You want them to find a way. You want them to say, stop, let's stop. But you can't. And you can't because throughout the whole episode prior, they're saying, you don't even know when it began. You don't even know. How can you even stop something that you don't even know where it's going or how it started or where it's going to end? You just can't. And Alicent says that at the end, and she's right. She's right.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a small council, all women. I want Rhaenyra to have her auntie, her niece, Mysaria, and Queen Dowager Alicent. She's gonna come over like how Moses' mother comes over with the Hebrews at the end when she's like, I don't belong here, but I don't want to be on the Egyptian side anymore. You know how she does that? Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
She's gonna be like that. She's gonna be like, listen, my sons are crazy. Kristen Cole's crazy. He's probably dead by this point. I would love to see a small council of women.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
They're not gonna
won't
live
happen.
forever.
Yeah.
But I would trust those women right now. I trust all of these ladies and dragonless Rhaena. No?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because she'll come in. She'll be like, drag it for you. She'd be the Oprah. The six of us here, drag it for you, drag it for you, drag it for you.
This is by far the best scene of all in House of the Dragon so far. for me.
Agreed. Hands down.
And
And
it's
they
not
need
even
to get back
close.
together again. I want these two women back together.
I don't think they're back together again.
Ever?
I think they're done. That's it. I think that's it. Because now, at the point at which
I need them together again.
Rhaenyra stops listening to Alicent, like you can stop this. And she's like, no, there is no mistake. But after she makes this realization, or she makes this,
she realizes
she understands what happened.
Yeah, that Alicent messed up.
She messed up. Both women immediately, whoa, goes up. Like, Alicent realizes, holy crap, I did mess up. I have to reassert myself here and put up the wall to make sure that nothing else comes in. Rhaenyra says, holy crap, she was wrong. I no longer have any more guilt about what is going to happen. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm going to fight for what I know is to be correct. I know it's correct that I'm supposed to be sitting on that throne. I know I have to do what I have to do now. And that's what scares me.
Does Rhaenyra get back on the throne?
Yes.
Nice.
I think she does.
I love that.
But that, again, that's what scares me. It scares me because she is going to do whatever. That temperate Rhaenyra that we've seen, gone. Like Dunsky.
The Targaryen blood is starting to boil.
Yes, and that's why it scares me, because there is 0.0 chance there is going to be any more like temperance.
Yeah, we're not pen pals anymore.
No, we're not buddies no more. That's it. Well, and I'm going to do what we need.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too, because this is when the Dance of the Dragon starts, right? Like, this is it.
Okay. Who do you think's dragon is going down first? Whose dragon is next to die? We had Luke's. Is it going to go black, green, black, green, black, green?
No.
Or is it going to be black, black, black?
I think it's going to be black, black, black. I think Jace is coming next.
Oh, gosh.
And I think
it's Baela.
And here's the reason why I think, listen, thematically, we had to come back to Alicent and Rhaenyra. We had to come back to them. We had to get to the point where both of them recognize there's nothing else we can do. And now, at this point, they have to start paying a price. And the price that Rhaenyra is going to have to pay for her, what I assume will be like just total dominance over this situation and no hold back whatsoever, the price that she's going to have to pay is that she's going to lose all of her kids.
Some of them have to live.
Well, yeah, I think the ones that are with
all the Darkhead
Rhaena,
kids, they're dying.
The kids that are with Rhaena are gonna live.
Babysitter Rhaena.
But again, all in all, her kids are gonna be gone, right? The kids are with Rhaena, the two light hair and one dark hair kid, and then we have her other kids.
She only has one left. She has Jace.
Yeah, all of them are gonna die. I think all of them, but you could even consider...
Why do you say all of them? Someone of her child has to live because they are Daenerys's ancestors.
I know. What I'm saying is she is going to lose her children. That's the price that she has to pay.
Meaning they're no longer with her, not necessarily all dead.
Jace is going to die. The other ones are gone. And I bet Baela dies as well because of what happens with Jace in some way. Like... all of them are going to be gone. That's the price that she has to pay. And that's why, again, it scares me. Because once you lose that, now you got nothing else. And now it just becomes about the throne, which is what it eventually became with Daenerys. Right? Just became that thing. And that scares me. So that's why I don't...
You should be scared.
I'm out on
You're
Team Black.
Green. You should be scared.
I know. I'm out on Team Black now.
I am in.
Because at least with the Greens, things will run the way that they should run.
Nope. They're all crazy.
Well, yes, but...
I don't trust any of them.
Fair enough.
I'm Team Black.
All right, you got anything else you want to talk about?
That's it.
Right. We have some voicemail. You ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Lala from Pennsylvania
Hi, Lala.
calling about Season 2, Episode 3 of House of the Dragon. I give this episode a 4.4 out of 5 flames, and I have my GBG as well. And sorry, Mary, I have a tie for my good.
That's okay.
My first one being Rhaenyra telling Rhaena that if shit hits the fan on their end, then you are our future. I'm entrusting you with with her children and unhatched eggs. Awesome. And my second one being Daemon's nightmare. I thought it was very telling seeing somebody who doesn't seem to be afraid of anything fighting his demons. I thought that was very interesting. My bad is all these new Hightower relatives coming into play.
Mhm.
I'm so mad that they're bringing up Alicent's fourth child just now. Like, where's he been all this time? And her brother coming along. Move aside, please. And my great is Rhaenyra and Alicent in the church. It was an obvious callback to season 1 when they were still allowed to enjoy each other's friendship before men came along and screwed everything up for them. I look forward to next week's episode very much. I'm very much on the edge of my seat waiting for it, and I can't wait to watch along with you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lala.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to jointhenerdclan.com now. Rachel says, one of my favorite parts of this show this season is the changing title sequence. The intro changing each episode to reflect the events that are propelling us forward, adding the red thread across the casket of beautiful design, and the hanging of the rat catchers. I'm tremendously enjoying this season. It's making me want to deep dive into this world and the characters, much like I did dive into the Game of Thrones. I'm just loving it being back in Westeros. Hashtag Team Black.
Nice.
I totally agree. This intro sequence is so much better than last season's. The weaving of the story that we're watching into the historical tapestry is so freaking cool. It is a must-watch sequence now. Must watch. Have to watch it. All right. This one comes from Melissa. She says, great episode, simmering with tension, 4.8 flames. Hashtag Team Black.
Yes.
My good. Rhaenys. Of all the members of Rhaenyra's council, Rhaenys is the most level-headed and
Same.
wise. My bad. King Aegon taunting Aemond when he finds him in his brothel. By the way, I just want to say that I thought some bad stuff was going to happen. But then Aemond went full alpha, just stood up,
Yep.
dangling,
Yep.
doing his thing. You guys do what you're
Magic
going
eye
to do.
walking all around. Magic eye
Yep,
moving,
yep.
grooving.
The brothers have a complicated relationship, to be sure, but this public humiliation was particularly cruel. Honorable mention, Sir Kristen Cole's horrible new haircut. Totally agree. We're going to call that the Lloyd Christmas.
The hand to the king haircut.
My great Alicent and Rhaenyra, their whole scene together culminating in the realization that Alicent misunderstood the intentions of Viserys was a great moment. Let's do the next voicemail.
Hi, Mary and Blake. This is Ashley from Massachusetts.
Hey,
Hi,
Ashley.
I would give episode 3 a 4.5 rating.
Okay.
Just because it's kind of the episode leading up to what I feel like next episode will be intense. But my good was seeing the younger Rhaenyra in Daemon's like weird hallucination state or whatever that was. My bad was just that it really not much happened this episode, but I wouldn't really fault them for that because they have to build up to something. And then my great was Alicent realizing, like, oh shit, I think I might have misinterpreted everything and caused all of this to happen, really. And if I had just understood him, but I don't know what she's going to do with that. My prediction, next episode, I feel like somebody really important has to die because we're already, however many 2 or 3 episodes in and nobody really that important has died. I wonder if Daemon's sick, and that's how he'll die. And is it Harrenhal that he is? I wonder if he's sick and he'll die that way. And now I'm wondering if Alicent's gonna die because I feel like she kind of, what more does she have to do now that Rhaenyra told her that she was kind of wrong? I wonder if she'll die too. But that's all I've got. Thanks.
That's a good take, Ashley. I would say that Alicent's position now is to make sure that her family stays alive. And she'll do whatever she has to do to facilitate that. I don't know if we have another confrontation with Rhaenyra. We might. But I still think Alicent has more to do. And there's a theme going on here, Mary. Everyone's saying the stuff with Rhaenyra and Alicent was the best. Well, because it is. But why? Why is it the best?
Because we care about their relationship.
Because their relationship. The relationship those two share is what the show is built on. And you want that relationship to succeed. And when you see things that are out of their control, preventing them from being the friends that they could be, that makes you care. And you care about each person individually through that relationship. So when Alicent does have that realization, you have it with her, and you feel that with her. It's just, man, Mary, if I couldn't, I don't think you can write a better sequence. I don't think you can.
Agreed.
I don't think you can. All right, well, let's get on to the next comment here. This one comes from Mary. She says, Team Black all the way.
Yes.
Rhaenyra pauses, seeks counsel from Rhaenys, the sole thoughtful and wise person on her council, and goes to Alicent in an effort to avoid an all-out war, all while chaos is swirling around her. 4.6 flames. All you people with Team Black, I'm telling you, Team Green's where it's at. This one comes from our studio. She says, woof, what a ride. So much great and hot stuff, hard to pick. But the good, Aemond unfurling in that brothel after being ridiculed. He is like a long, tall drink of water, full of quiet, seething rage emerging from his cocoon. And lordy, they went full frontal. By the way, I totally agree. Always be afraid of the quiet ones. It's the Aegons, the loud ones, and the stupid. You never worry about them. But it's the quiet ones where you're like, you know what? You do you. Yeah, we'll pick another lady. We're good. You stay there. Cuddle up. You curl right back up.
Cuddle up, buttercup.
Yeah, we're good. Horcrux Voldy move over. He's back.
Yes.
And he's got the biggest dragon in the world. And look out, Aegon. The bad. Struggling a bit with the guy in the pub who claims to be a Targaryen bastard. Who is he, and why do we care?
Amen.
The great. Baela scaring the crap out of Sir Criston Cole and his retinue. Was really, really hoping Moondancer would barbecue them. Damn. Also, great Alicent and Rhaenyra meeting. Didn't pick it first because it was a tad implausible for Rhaenyra to sneak there and be unnoticed. But cannot wait for you to unpack everything. 4.8 flames. Yeah, I agree. It's a little hard to accept that Rhaenyra could get in there. But at this point, I look at it like, who cares? Because it works out thematically, and there needs to be some sort of closure for the both of them in order for this war to move forward, and it makes sense to the storytelling. It may not be the most practical thing, but the overall story it serves, and I like that. All right, last voicemail.
Hi, Mary and Blake. It's Ava calling from Everett, Massachusetts.
Hi, Ava.
All right, Ava. Where's my button? Here it is.
Your cousin from Boston.
All right, go ahead.
About House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 3. I would give it 4.7 flames. I really loved this episode, and I've loved the entire season so far. My good is a little tie. I loved the opening sequence. It felt like a classic Game of Thrones.
By the way, Ava with a tie. And from Massachusetts, Ava, you call back anytime that you want.
Blake.
You call back anytime that you want. Both you and Ashley. Anytime, Massachusetts folk, you're welcome here. Okay, sorry, continue.
Cold open where you know something's up and something's going to happen. You're not sure what it is, and it delivered.
Yep.
I also loved kind of the feud between the Brackens and the Blackwoods, mirroring what's happening at the royal family level. My second good is the shot of Eric and Auric being buried in their grave, cutting to the shot of Sir Criston looking down into the camera.
Oh, Ava said the same exact thing as me. Ava, this might be you might be a Hall of Fame caller now. Might be.
Just because she says the same things as you.
Same thing as me. She's from Massachusetts.
Oh my
if she
God.
says she's Team Green, she's instant Hall of Fame. Instant. Okay, here we go.
As if into his own grave, and then the shot pulls out behind him, and he looks headless, and if that is what's coming for Sir Criston, I am into it. My bad, Ulf, who cares? Not me. My great, Aemond at the brothel. This is shocking because this was my bad last week. I mean, I was not up for the Voldy vibes. But this week, same scene, totally different. Obviously totally different because we get a full frontal, which was insane. But Aemond just sitting there on the bed, listening to Aegon taunt him, frozen, scheming, not reacting, just standing up and walking away. Prediction, will Daemon and Aemond switch sides? And when they confront each other, will Daemon be on Team Green and Aemond on Team Black? Not sure. It's developing theory. Would love to know what you think. Bye.
Oh, I love this developing take.
Ugh.
Love this developing
Makes me
take.
uncomfortable.
That would be something if they did switch sides and they both fought at Harrenhal for those sides.
Yikes.
Ava, you didn't tell me if you were Team Green or Team Black. I'm just saying, if you're Team Green, instant Hall of Fame. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm going to say. That's how it works here at Mary and Blake Media. You will forego the mandatory waiting process.
Oh, my God.
So that is that for the Small Council. Oh, I didn't play our sound for the Small Council.
It's okay, Blake. It's in
All
our
right,
heart.
I messed it up. All right. Anything else you want to say for this episode, my love?
Oh, that's it.
All right, yeah, because we're at an hour 33. I did not anticipate it being that long. All right, that's that. Let's close it out, shall we?
We shall.
Let's do it.
Hello, and thank you. Thanks so much. You just did a thing that
What? What?
I am so tired. For some reason, I just yawned, and you waved at me the way I do when I begin a podcast.
So you went into automatic open podcast mode?
Hello and welcome. But my brain was like, no. So it went to thank you. Hello and thank you. Mary needs a coffee.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
How am I going to play a concert tonight? Oh, my God.
Oh,
I need to wake up.
man.
Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This show is epic. This show is amazing and awesome. And if you have enjoyed this podcast episode, if you've made it through this hour and a half of Blake and I speaking, I need you to do me a favor.
Yep.
I need you to head to Apple Podcasts and leave us a written review. We did have one friend who attempted to write one, and they got cut off mid-sentence, but it still counts. But if
Okay.
you are that person, if you are a Burgess 68, all it says is Team Green or Team Black. I love the newest addition to the show, We're Mary. That's all it says, A Burgess 68.
Where Mary?
We're Mary. Okay, so A Burgess, go back. You can even continue it. But anybody else, like I would love to read these. They warm my
Yes.
heart, but they honestly help other people find this podcast. Other people who, like you, are loving Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon,
Yep.
the whole universe of it. So if you wouldn't mind doing us that favor, I can read them on the next podcast.
You know, Ava did say something that was kind of smart too. She said that the beginning felt more like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
It started off with these random characters,
Yes.
and you're like, okay, something isn't right.
Are the White Walkers walking around?
Yeah, like it
Yes.
felt like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It felt like, okay, yeah, we're this like something is going to occur with these people. We just don't know yet.
Mhm.
And then obviously, what happened, and like a perfect beginning
Agreed.
and a perfect ending. So. Great bookends, if you will.
Yes.
Of course, if you want to talk about House of the Dragon or you want to let us know what you're thinking, you can just go to maryandblake.com. You can write us an email there, or you can email us at maryandblakemedia@gmail.com, or better yet, have your voice heard right on the podcast by going to maryandblake.com and hitting the contact button where you'll see the voicemail option. And of course, if you want your written comments, go to jointhenerdclan.com. They get priority. Those will be on the podcast, guaranteed. So that's that.
That's that. All right, my friends. My name is Mary.
My name is Blake.
Dracarys.